came to the sport, I want to show you girls can fight like the guys. When people say, I'm going to be girls fight there, no, now you see like the family getting together for see the MMA fight. This makes me really happy and excited to see the young girls.
Hey Chris, first of all, congratulations. You're a bona fide legend of the sport, and a lot of people think you're the greatest female fighter of all time. At this point in your career, when you keep on winning and winning and winning belts, do you think your greatness is taken for granted?
I'm not gonna say I'm the greatest, but I live the fans say that. I think I've been doing my best, and the world is gonna stay in the history in the future. You know, the fans and the people gonna be know about Chris Cyborg, don't know what this girl is, she did a lot. So you know, but for me, I just keep humble and keep work hard, and that's it.
Awesome. Hi, Chris. If you're able to fight in Japan, would you prefer to fight in a ring with Japanese rule sets, which include, you know, kicks to down the opponent, or do you want everything the same as it is here?
If you have the opportunity, it can be anywhere. Ring, cage, anywhere. Be ready, be ready. Beginning when I start training, I was training the rules for when the people shoot the box training, but it can be ring too, no problem.
Right, thank you, Chris.
Thank you guys. Yes, thank you guys, everything.
Bah. 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 No, my bad.
Let's open it up.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Scott, congrats on huge event, getting this far. Now, I do want to talk about all the fights, but you did make a promise the other day that maybe you could give us some information about everybody that's been back here. Everybody's been asking, what do you make about the future of the promotion? What's going on? Where's your home going to be next year? Can you give us anything at all?
Yeah, as you guys know, I mean, listen, 2 weeks ago it was like, oh, this thing's going down in a week. A month ago it was, this thing's been going back and forth for how long? For the last 6 months. So, to me, I don't want to really engage in any speculation or see where, where the future goes as far as, is the deal going to happen? Is it not going to happen? I mean, these things take time, and until the time it gets, solidified, to me it's just speculation. So I can't engage in that because it's really unfair, I think, to the promotion, the 300th event. We had some great fights tonight. We've been doing some great fights over the last, 8, 9 years. And this company has grown so much. It's such a celebration. So, as far as from 2 days ago till today, I honestly don't have an update. It's basically the same. So I'd be making something up just to make you happy, but really it's the same situation it was 2 days ago. So, hopefully there's some clarity soon and we'll find out what's going on.
I mean, I think you can understand why everybody wants to know. I think it's because, frankly, people are probably rooting for you guys to stick around.
Yeah, I mean,
I think people feel like it's better with a few more people in space.
Yeah, but keep in mind, guys, I don't own Bellator. Bellator is not my company. It's not owned or it's out to keep, to merged. It's owned by Viacom, and they have a process that they do, and they're doing what they need to do. But it's not something that I own to sell or not sell. So that's the truth.
You have, last one on this, you have been through it before though. So I guess I wonder, when this talk started picking back up, are you like, oh man, I just did this 12 years ago, I gotta go through and deal with this again? Because I'm sure that wasn't maybe the most fun period of your life, having to watch Strikeforce go away and then just kind of,
Yeah.
And
you know what? I mean, the difference is I own Strikeforce, right? This is something that I don't own, so it's hard for me to really comment on that because it's completely different. Now, there are some, feelings that feel the same, but at the end of the day, it's not my company.
Thanks, Scott.
Hi, Scott. What if you could just talk about the top three fights. How did they go in your opinion? Do you feel like they went above and beyond?
Like I don't see how anybody can say that Chris Cyborg is not the GOAT. She was amazing. She took care of business. To me, that was an amazing fight. Usman fought a very tactical fight. Primus is no joke. This guy is a guy that has come out and upset a lot of top guys. He wasn't even in this tournament. If you think about it, when we started in February, we announced it in February in LA. We had all the guys come up. He wasn't even part of the tournament, but because of failed tests by one of the athletes that was in the tournament, he stepped in and he's delivered. So, he delivered another fight. And Usman knows how dangerous Brent Primus is. I talked out here just in the back there a second ago, and he said, "Look, man, it's the kid's dangerous, and we had to respect him, and the fight was what it was."
And outside of those 3 fights, was there anything on this card that kind of stands out to you? Just a fighter, a particular fight, a moment, anything that kind of resonates?
There was actually a lot of great fights, but I think the Dana McCourt fight really was something that I was really amazed at how much she dominated Sarah. So it's something that I felt like, wow, this is, she's ready to step up to the next level. She wants to fight Cyborg in the future. We'd love to see it, but she's gonna have her hands full. I mean, that's a tough task. I'd say congratulations on your win. Now, go get in the gym and get back to work, because it's not gonna be an easy task for this Chris.
And I just have one pertaining to the sale. If something were to happen where Bellator would just cease to exist in any capacity, would there be a goodbye, or would you guys just kind of fade off into the sunset? Would you plan something?
You guys thought I was gonna have some kind of speech today and make some kind of announcement. Well, here it is. There's no announcement. I mean, honestly, look, I have a contract back. I'm going to honor my contract back or Paramount actually now. So, to me, there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknowns right now. But hopefully, we'll have some clarity soon, and everybody can figure it out.
Right here. So, with this being Bellator's 300th event, what would you say will be your favorite event so far?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough task. I mean, there's been so many great fights in this company, and to watch, I would say, in the early part of this company, we had a lot of stars that maybe have been around for a while, and to me, what I'm really proud of is we identified 4, 5, 6 athletes that we said these are going to be the future of our company. And it was Usman, Adrian Key. It was just forgetting something, but we have Cyborg. We started building a roster that was just amazing. And so when you think about how deep this roster is, Aaron Pico is another guy that comes to my mind, and the list goes on and on and on. We're not, we were a company that went out and said we're going to put our back on 5 different people, and then we had to have dance partners for all these fighters, and we had to bring in the best fighters to fight these guys, and these tournaments really have been special. When I think about the amazing work that we've done, and it all started back in 2014. I sat down with Bob Cook, who I don't know if some of you guys probably know Bob Cook's history, but unbelievable talent scout. Him and Javier helped me in the very beginning of Strikeforce, and when I came on the Bellator, and I started working for Kevin K at Spike TV. And we said, okay, we're going to build this company. We sat there and we went through the roster, and me and Bob went through the roster, and I said, what do you think about it? He said, I don't think you have very much here. So we get to start assigning guys and get busy, get to work, and we got a long way to go. And so to finally see it come to fruition, what Bob and I sat down and sort of mapping out, my coach was very instrumental in bringing some of the top guys here, managing the talent. And so, it's been a great experience to watch this company grow. Think about it. When you think about what other company right now besides the UFC is going to do this, and basically selling what they come up with here. So we sold out in Paris, we sold out in Ireland a couple times, we sold out in Chicago. I mean, it's good to see the brand grow to the point it was, because when I first came here, it was we were doing little casino shows. And I sat there at the very first fight, and I said, "Oh man, we got a long way to go. This is going to be a lot of work." And it just proves. I worked hard in this company. I got an amazing staff. We all worked hard. We all found a common goal and where we wanted to go with the brand, and I think we executed. if you think about, how far it's come, that's really what I'm really proud of. I'm proud of the athletes that we have here. Listen, Strikeforce was amazing. I think that UFC benefited from Strikeforce's roster that came over there and stayed. But, we took, fighters that had no fights in Strikeforce and we built their careers. And same thing over here, and we're doing it right now. So, I think the sky's the limit, and I think we have a lot of talent on this roster. And, we'll see what the future holds.
One more for me. So coming over from Strikeforce, what would you say was the biggest lesson that you learned from Strikeforce to help you succeed in Bellator?
I tell you, that's a very good question because, this is something where I look back at my career as, having different seasons. Like, life has different seasons, right? And I feel like in 7, 8, 9, 10-year increments, I had the 1 year, because, this is my 37th, 38th year in the martial art fight business. And it started with professional kickboxing. And then it went from that, and that was the era where actually I promoted fights this long ago where you had guys that had to wear long pants, had to throw 8 kicks per round, they were counting the cards, it was on ESPN. I don't know if you guys watch it, but that was the era that I started my promotion business. And Javier Mendez fought for me, Mike John fought for me, Rick Rufus fought for me, and then then came the second generation where we had Alex Gong and Kong Lee and John Cavalier and all these Fairtex killers. And then came, let's say it became one era. And that was another chapter, another season, I think, in my career. And then from K1, I went to Strikeforce MMA. And then I went to, I sold the company and then I was in a non-compete, so I couldn't go anywhere. And then now the Bellator era came. So, when you think about all the great fights in history, it's really hard to identify like one fight. But I can tell you this, the greatest fight that I've ever seen, I think, in person, there's 2 fights coming up. And one is in Pride, Las Vegas, I think it's Pride 1 or 2. It was Gomi fighting Nick Diaz. I thought that was one. And then the second I thought was Paul Daly fighting Nick Diaz here back in 2014.
What's up, Scott? Congrats on another big event. This was monumental. It was huge. San Diego enjoyed it. You always give a lot of credit. Joe said this earlier this week. You give a lot of credit to the fighters, the people around you. I truly believe that you deserve a round of applause. You deserve some credit. It's obviously your way. It's the person you are. There's nothing wrong with it, obviously. But how come you give all these other people credit and you don't take as much?
You know what? To me, I've always felt this way, is that my job is to promote the athletes. My job is to promote the event. My job is to promote the fight. To me, this is about the fighters. The league is important, yes, and you have to promote the league. But man, at the end of the day, and I learned this from Mr. Ishii K1 when I was working in Japan, and he said, never forget that these athletes are the ones stepping into the ring and putting their life on the line. It's not you. You're the facilitator, but you could be the promoter, but really, it's these guys. And it's always stuck with me because at the end of the day, they have the samurai spirit. They have the Bushido spirit, right? And so I love martial arts. It's been part of my life for a long time. And I've had a great martial arts journey. And part of it is to be able to watch these guys just develop and grow and grow. And really, it's, I have so much respect for these fighters. Because what they do, think about it. They walk into a cage, they lock the door, there's one referee in there, and then it's on. That's a very unique, mindset, the mental mindset of a warrior, right? To me, that's what that is. So I have so much respect for these guys, so much love for these guys and girls. It's like, that's something very special. And to me, that's the martial arts way. So that's how I was brought up.
I like that a lot, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this week earlier we saw Leighton Vassell. Unfortunately, he was ill and had to pull out of his fight. Is 2 questions. I'll make it into one. Is replacements in these title fights something that is like a little bit more important to you now? And also, is that Bader-Vassell fight something that we could see in Chicago at 301 later this year?
I don't think 301 is already old, so I don't think that's going to be possible. But I will say this: when I think about replacements, right? We heard from Lyndon Bessel's manager that he was sick, right? And basically, you have 7 days to find a new replacement, and yeah, the phone rang. But are they in tip-top shape to fight a guy like Ryan Bader? How many people can do that to begin with, right? And then not have a full training camp, train for. So to me, it wasn't worth it. To me, I want to run around. He's going to be in a really good fight, good matchup. Has to be fair training, and this has been not just for this fight. This has been an ongoing discussion I've had with my team. It was like, look, we're not going to just put in anybody to fight anybody. If you have you're saying this is a world-title fight in the heavyweight division. You're saying this is one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world. He's going to fight somebody else that's just as tough. And they have to have the ability to train. Otherwise, you know what you're going to end up with. You're just going to end up with, bad performance on one person's end. And so it's not fair, and I don't think it's fair for the audience. And I just don't think it makes sense. This is something that we've adopted, years ago, not just in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Thank you.
Scott, Leah came into the cage afterwards to kind of, get something going with Chris. It's already October, you have the fight coming up in November. How far down the road are you really looking if you're going to make that fight? I mean, how long is the leash that you can really examine?
Well, the world champions, we try to fight them twice a year. So that's kind of what, I would put on the calendar. Like, when Chris wants to fight again, she's probably going to want to go rest and take a vacation and we'll do whatever she does. But, we'll be back in touch with them soon. But that's a fight that, Leah wants. And Cyber will definitely take it. So, it's, I always have that saying, I believe go back to my camp, talk to my guys, and shuffle the deck and see what we come up with next week.
And then you briefly mentioned the non-compete that you had after Strikeforce before you came here. Is there some language in your contract that you have now that could keep you out of the promotion business, given whatever could happen, or is there, will you be able to continue to promote fights regardless of what happens?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into my contractual status with Viacom, but I will say this: you can only do a non-compete when you're the owner, right? So I'm not the owner of a property, so but I'm not going to get into the details of when it expires or how it goes or any of those details. But when especially when I live in California, it's a much different work environment there. But it's a good question.
And then, you owned Strikeforce, that was your child, so Bellator maybe is a stepchild. Exactly. What has the difference been between founding a promotion, starting it, and then joining something, 100 events in and needing to change it up?
In Strikeforce, I think we had probably, 40, 50 events, maybe in Strikeforce, maybe. Here, I think I promoted like 170, 180 events for this company. And you know what? This is just my work ethic. It's like I treat this like my own company. Right? Take calls 24 hours a day on the phone all the time, trying to maximize the growth of this company. And if you think about it, we went from let's say a domestic product on Spike TV to a global product. We have deals with the BBC, we have deals with Unext in Japan, we have deals in Ireland on Virgin. This is broadcast in 160 countries around the world. I mean, it's including this fight here tonight. So it's something that the distribution. We're really proud of the distribution of this company.
This guy right here. You previously, in years past, had employed a strategy of kind of developed a reputation of signing, veteran UFC fighters and going that route to sort of go for the name value of guys that were making that promotion. But in recent years, you've really focused on developing homegrown talent, and it's shown. And we're at a point now where we're actually having conversations about would this champion beat the UFC's champion, would this Bellator champion beat the UFC's champion. So given that the promotion is where it's at, from a competitive standpoint in the cage, are you disappointed that we're even having this conversation about Bellator going away, or everything that's going on around the promotion right now?
Well, I mean, listen, that's speculation again. So let's see what happens. You could still go a lot of different ways, honestly. So to me, I don't want to engage in any kind of conversation and kind of gossip or speculations.
And then the other question I wanted to ask, recently Dana White was asked about Bellator situation, and he had said, why on God's bleeping earth would anybody buy Bellator? But then a week later, he changed his tune and said it would be a good thing if Bellator stuck around. What do you make of his comments? What's your reaction to that?
You know, listen, it's you know, and I didn't even hear that, so I don't really know how to comment. But listen, we have a great company, and when you talk about clear number twos in the space, nobody has the fighters that we have. Nobody can pack this arena like we can pack, other than the UFC. So when I think about negative comments coming from other promoters, it just is what it is. That's I'm not really impacted by that. I really try to focus on business at hand and what's important is the growth of this company and the growth of our employees to try to keep this going forward. So to me, I focus on what we're doing and not any outside disturbance.
Hey Scott, right
Go
now.
Niners.
I know the event just ended, but I gotta say, Grant Neal came out here tonight, looked like an absolute dog at middleweight, cutting down from light heavyweight to middleweight. He was a top-ranked contender at 205, now he's at 185. He called for a title shot with Johnny Eblin. Another guy calling for a title shot with Johnny Eblin is Aaron Jeffrey. What do you make of that whole situation at middleweight? It seems like there's two top contenders ready for a title shot.
Yeah, you know what? Johnny just fought, and so we're going to go back to the drawing board with him. Of course, we'll take a look and see what happened, but you know what? We're not going to jump to any decisions on who will fight next. But we are looking to continue to grow our division, and these guys will definitely contribute to the growth of the 185 competition. That's Ollie's like, get Usman in here. He's hurry up. He needs to go. Don't worry.
Last one for me. You're gonna love this question, Scott. I promise. I know you're not the owner, as you mentioned. It's not your decision to buy, sell, merge, and whatnot. But when you heard the rumors, just like us media members and the fans out there, that there is a chance, there is some speculation surrounding a possible merge with PFL. Was there a little sense of excitement you felt, maybe something new, and that would be cool? Or is it more like you'd rather keep Bellator? If it were up to you, your opinion, keep Bellator separate?
Again, that's something that let's just see what happens. Because again, I'll be answering the speculation. So, I really just like to keep my thoughts to myself. But there'll be a time where we can have a conversation if this thing happens or not. Thank you, guys. I know who's the one. Thanks, guys. Sorry, I cut him off.